called that love, called that word. I emptied out to fill their hands and lost myself in their demands. I thought that staying through the ache was proof that love is what you make. But loving shouldn't steal your name, and healing shouldn't feel like shame. I used to think loving meant losing me, that real love came with breaking free of all the parts that asked to stay, to make more room for them each day. But now I see with quiet eyes that love should never make you hide. I'm mourning who I used to be. I used to think loving meant losing me. I used to call it being kind, to put their needs before my mind. But kindness without care for you is just a wound disguised as true. I'm not ashamed of how I gave, but now I'm done becoming brave by disappearing just to prove that I was worthy not to lose. I used to think love meant erase every part that took up space. But now I love in softer ways, the kind that doesn't set me ablaze. And if you leave because I stay true to myself, that's still okay. I'm done with love that asks for me. I used to think loving meant losing me. When now I love and I let me be. You walked away and said no line, just vanished like we no time. I kept replaying what I missed and blamed myself for all of it. I searched for answers in the void, in text unsent, in words destroyed. I thought if I had meant enough, you'd show some kind of braver love. You left without a word, but I'm still worth one. Even if you couldn't face the goodbye I deserved with grace, I used to beg the silence loud, but now I stand in something proud. Your absence never made me less. You left without a word, but I'm still worth one, I confess. I thought your leaving meant I failed, that I was something you unveiled, and didn't like enough to stay. But now I see it wasn't that way. The brave don't ghost what they once held. They say goodbye when it's compelled, and love, even when walking out, still speaks, not leaves the heart in doubt. You left without a word, but I no longer break for what you couldn't bear to say. I speak for me in clearer ways, and now I write the final page, not out of anger, not from rage, just peace that doesn't need your voice. You left without a word, but I still have my choice. They held me close when I was low, when I stayed quiet just to cope. They loved the girl who needed them, but not the one who learned to mend. They praised me when I stayed unsure, when I said yes and asked no more. But once I spoke and once I stood, they said I changed, and that's not good. They loved me more before I loved myself, when I was soft and needed help, when I kept shrinking to belong, when I made weakness feel like song. But when I found my louder truth, they slowly vanished from the room. And that's how I can clearly tell they loved me more before I loved myself. They called me kind when I was tired. They liked me more when I admired. But now I don't look up the same, and suddenly I'm hard to name. It wasn't me who did them wrong, it's just I grew and they moved on from someone they could gently bend, not someone they would meet unpenned. They loved me more when I was breaking down, when I wore silence like a make me stay, but not enough to show the way. You touched my hand then pulled away. You never asked but made me wait. You gave me nights but not your days. You smiled but in a distant haze. You were a door that stayed half closed, and I still knocked like you were home. You almost loved me, and that almost broke me. You made it feel like it was near, then vanished when I drew too near. I begged for clarity and missed, while calling that confusion bliss. But I'm not meant for halfway ghosts. You almost loved me, but it hurt the most. I used to think I asked too much, but now I see I asked for touch that didn't leave me split in two. When love was something I walked through, almost love feels safe at first, but slow goodbye is still the worst. And now I choose the kind that stays, not one that flickers then delays. You almost loved me, and I almost stayed. But healing asked me to be brave. I want a heart that opens wide, that doesn't make me choose a side. You taught me what I won't accept, and gave me back the love I kept. So thank you, even if it's late. You almost loved me, but I closed the gate. I used to hold my tears too tight to keep the mood, to keep it light. I laugh at things that made me hate, so I was easier to take. I called it love when I stayed still, when I ignored what I would feel. I made myself a softer sound